I think we'll manage that. If it is not there, be unnecessary, you can just send it, we'll discuss and then we'll take a decision whether to exempt it or not.
A copy has also been sent by my friend to me also, you know.
The same as the previous. No.
No. She mentioned to 400. Well,
You're given a copy to.
well,
Yes, Mr. Bhuyan, what do you have to say?
as per the medical report, they have that the grade 3 osteo-megaly has been opined. Why not let it please define? It is in the last, before the last line, as per the history, physical and mental status examination, review of documents, the medical board concludes that Mr. Isan Nanzari is suffering from mild depression, episode with type 2 diabetes mellitus, hypertension, and grade 3 osteo-megaly. This is not being treated, but is not being cured.
This will never be cured. It's something which remains for the life. They will examine it for being operated, because otherwise he may not be entitled to bail on that account or suspension of sentence. But if an operation is required, that has to be done. But you see, we it's a grade 3 prostomegaly, it's a prostate. So if it is grade 3, then he'll perhaps require an operation.
Custody, my lord, I think operation is difficult.
Correct.
My lord, we considering the age, my lord can consider the bail, my lord, and in the long run, my lord, if I can, my lord, satisfy my lord the appeal, my lord, and that is a different issue, or otherwise, my lord, I have to surrender again. The manner, my lord, the feedback which I have received, my lord, from the family members, my lord, the manner the convict is behaving, my lord, is also very, my lord, unbecoming. My lordship knows, my lord, inside the jail, the hygiene condition is also not very proper, my lord. Right to life, my lord, is in danger.
No, we have visited many. It's a part of our job that we have to visit jails.
That,
No conditions, you see, we can't help it. Because of the fact that every jail is overcrowded.
man,
And that perhaps suo moto cognizance has been taken by the Supreme Court and
Yes, sir.
certain directions are issued.
Guideline.
The that is one part.
Fine.
But the second part, if you visit these jails, you'll come to know there are many problems there.
Yes, that is
Basic problem is those drug addicts who are kept in the jail. They create a bad environment. There are other things also we may not like to discuss here at this moment, but
But may I pray, my lord?
just a moment.
Fine.
Nothing indicates that you need surgery.
Itu ibu nih. Oh, salah. Boneka kan ini. Saya lihat.
My lord, may your lord, understand attention. In the IR number 190, we have annexed a DNA report. But that DNA report is not conclusive that the baby which has been enlisted in the bar.
Is this IA?
190. My lord, may can come to page 81.
No, it merely says, you see, it merely says that amplifiable DNA could not be obtained.
Right.
Amplifiable DNA is the DNA which can be otherwise read in the medicine. So it could not be amplified because that child in the womb, the newborn child or child in the womb, I forgot, who died, that body was in a decomposed state. When the DNA was extracted, the body was in a decomposed state. This you will find
Right.
serial number 1, page 81. Attered vial contains trinium collected by doctors of so-and-so. Exhibit is found in decomposed state. So therefore, amplifiable DNA could not be extracted.
My lord.
Amplifiable DNA is the DNA which can be otherwise read
Right.
by instruments.
Lord, it could have been the prosecution could have obtained, during the, when the baby was in a proper stage. The prosecution will have failed to extract the DNA because otherwise. it
But
would
for
not
that, we
be-
can't draw
My lord.
adverse inference.
But my lord, the allegation is that due to my act, she became pregnant and delivered a child. So this would have been the best, evidence to rely upon by the prosecution. Now only basing on the statement of the, victim and other witnesses, the trial court below has relied on it.
Just for your information, this is a magnified image of a DNA. So this is one cell. This one cell is magnified. And then its components, you will find it down below, a graphic chart is given. So this identifies the components of the DNA. And from thereafter, this analysis can be done.
For just, so my master is in genetics,
You are master in genetics,
My lord.
so you'll be knowing more.
Long
I just have
back,
working knowledge.
Long back 2000.
But once you have that kind of a degree, I think you should continue reading and upgrading your skills there also.
This decomposed stage, sometimes it can be, the effort is
It's
given.
okay. It's okay, but we don't know.
Right.
This is something forensics so deeply I have not read. How to extract because not part of our job. So
May I pray that, the considering the age and other, health conditions, can the person be,
we first get the medical report about the surgery, then we'll consider. Because grade 3 normally surgery is required. Uh, So here we are and counsel for the appellant is present. Ms. Andas Lanet APP has produced she is referred to the order dated 4/3/2024, and it is submitted that this court had directed that the health status report of the applicant be brought on record by way of an affidavit. Full stop. In this regard, it is submitted that the Superintendent of District Jail Abhayapuri has certain health conditions for which he could not come to court and swear the affidavit. First of- as first of- considering the said submissions, comma, and having noted that the medical report has been produced by the learned APP, comma, subject to further orders that may be passed, comma, for the present, the filing of affidavit to bring on record the status report is discussed with. First of- they said report is accepted and put as a part of record. Next paragraph. Having noted that along with other medical conditions, comma, the applicant is suffering from grade 3 prostato, PROSTATO MEGALY, megaly, comma, the superintendent of district jail Abhayapuri shall once again take the applicant, namely convict is capital AC oblique 773 Ishan ESHAN Narzary NARZARY to the surgery department of FAAMCH, Barpeta, so as to enable the said department to examine the applicant in respect of his ailment of grade 3 prostatomegaly. And to see if and to report as to whether any surgery is required by the applicant. Next paragraph. While producing the applicant before the Department of Surgery, FAAMCH, Barpeta, the past medical documents of the applicant shall also be produced before the doctors therein. Next paragraph. The report of the report of the Department of Surgery, FAAMCH, Barpeta. Just add there the first line. It will be open to the Department of Surgery, FAAMCH, Barpeta, to refer the applicant to any other ward, if so required, for his examination and assessment of health. Then was all the also and so. Next one, the medical examination report of the applicant. He produced before the court on the next date. Suggested date, we give 3 weeks. I think it will be done.
Fifth of April. also.
5th of April. We are making it 8th. There are intermittent holidays. on 8
April.
April 2024. Next, before that you write, the Dundee ATP shall send a downloaded copy of this order to the Superintendent District Jail Abhayapuri to enable him to do the needful.
Right.
Is the paper book ready? Paper is ready. Can you fix it for hearing the main case? Main case, list the matter for hearing in the week commencing. One four 2020. Is it? 1/4/2024.
Apply. With IAS.
The character appeal is listed.
Item 2.
Notice is served on respondent number 2. Notice is served on respondent number 2. Okay, notice was served. Okay. The victim committed suicide. That's what your case is that she committed suicide. Okay.
Although madam, in the medical madam, it shows that it was toppling in them.
Pardon me?
In the medical madam, medical report, it says madam, toppling was there. Then the father and both the appellants, madam, the father and father and son, my lord. That is the father-in-law and the husband of the deceased, my lord. They are before lordship, my lord, and the occurrence took place on 11/7/2014, my lord. Lord should find that, my lord, the FIR, my lord, case 4, my lord. FIR was
Amir Ali is the father.
I was lost by PW2, my lord, the father of the deceased, my lord, Haris Ali, my lord. That also find case 4, my lord. Contents for the yes, my lord. I'm looking case 4, lord. Humble submission is that about 1.5 months ago, my daughter Hamida Begum got married to accused number 1 mentioned below. After the marriage, accused number 1 and other members of the family started assaulting her by demanding money as dowry. On last 9/7/2014, my daughter came to my home and informed me that the accused demanded 1 lakh rupees as dowry and that the money was required to be given to them. I persuaded her a lot and sent her back to my son-in-law's house the previous day. Around 10 a.m. of today, a person named Abdul Rahim informed me that my daughter was unwell and asked me to go to the hospital to see her. When I entered into the Boka Village Hospital, Abdul Rahim escaped and I found my daughter dead. After a close observation, many people witnessed injury marks on the various parts of her body. The accused persons murdered my daughter in a pre-planned manner. It will come to light in the investigation. So here, Lordship, find my lord, 4 persons, my lord, are named in the FIR, my lord. That's Sabir Ahmed, husband, my lord. Amir Ali, father-in-law, and the other 2, my lord, also find my lord, Saira Begum. She happens to be the mother-in-law, my lord, and there is exactly same set of, my lord, allegation against her, my lord, as against the convicted accused persons, my lord. She has been not sent up for trial, my lord. And number 4, my lord, Abdul Rahim, my lord, he also has not been sent up for trial. And later on also find that there was another lady, my lord, the sister-in-law of the deceased, my lord. Some act was also attributed to her. She has not been arrested as an accused. Though in the FIR it states that there are others, my lord. Now, my lord, here, I should find, my lord, the incident, my lord, occurred first 11/7/2014, my lord, 10 a.m. And it says that the FIR was received, my lord, on the same day at 4:45 p.m. That also find at page 1, my lord. Later on, also find that, my lord, that the FIR, my lord, it was forwarded, my lord, rather sent to the Elaka magistrate on 14th, my lord. And on the paper book also, PS4, on the top, you should find that it was seen by the magistrate on 14/7/2014. So we would say that, my lord, it is an anti-time FIR, my lord. And there are other methods also to suggest that, my lord. Here, my lord. So the same section, my lord. The charge sheet was filed, my lord. That lord should find at page 99. And there lord should find, my lord, that Saira Begum and Abdul Rahim Mullah not sent up, my lord. Another aspect, my lord. The charge sheet, my lord, it was filed on 31/1/2015, my lord. You see that page 90, my lord. It was seen by the Garnet court below, my lord. On 31/3/15. So also find out the interest written with the charge sheet, everything, my lord. Possibly, I'll show, my lord, that it was seen on 31st, my lord, 31/3/15. So our case is that, my it's an anti-time FIR, my lord. Because the time at which they have stated to have registered the case, it is not that, my lord. It is subsequent to the performance of inquest report and the other formula.
But that will be nothing which vitiates the proceeding. If you come to 361 461 CRPC is not something which vitiates the trial.
Like the judgments of the apex court, that line. That's why. No, no, no,
Because ultimately somebody has died
no, but it is here,
and there cannot be a promotion of death so as to anti-time FIR.
So here also find the person who has been cited as the prime witness and rather the solitary eyewitness, her witness, her evidence and her 164 and her 164 and 161 both were recorded after 145 days. And no explanation why the delay. She was at home, my lord. That's why, my lord. Combination of everything would show, my lord. I would rather try to show, my lord, that it is an anti-time, my lord. And rather all these things were, my lord, planted and incorporated to make
No,
out
could not be. You see, timing, maybe there is an error.
Yes.
But the nature of injuries suffered by the victim, it has to be a homicidal case.
that whether, my lord, the appellants have done it or not.
That's what we'll examine.
And my lord, I'll be relying on one to judgment, my lord, on that line, my lord. That's why I'm placing my lord before that. Now, page 9 is that, my lord, PW1, my lord, medical officer, my lord. He was the person who conducted the, my lord, postmortem of the dead body, my lord. And another aspect, my lord, everything was, my lord, proceeded, my lord, investigation on the basis of the general diary entry, my lord. So FIR is hit by 162, my lord. That also find from the evidence of the one of the investigating officer that the investigation proceeded on the basis of the GB entry, my lord. That extract copy of the GB entry is page 100. I'll come to that later, my lord. Whether I should finish 100 is that GB entry, my lord, on the basis of which, my lord, the investigation proceeded. Was entered at 10:30 AM, my lord.
Hmm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Just below, within speech of it.
Yes. Mano. The medical report, opinion is 9, medical officer, they are looking 5, that 1, 2, 3, 4,
In the meanwhile, you would like to consult this LCR? You want to consult? Huh? Go for it.
the is 9, medical officer who conducted the report, the post-mortem. The opinion, my lord, was cause of death due to asphyxia and as a result of throttling, and there were, my lord, bruises the right side of the neck, my lord. And bruises of different size of 3 centimeter long above the downward and 2 centimeter on the lateral left side of the thyroid cartilage. There was fracture also of the laryngeal cartilage. So opinion was throttling, my lord, and there were
Asphyxia.
you can also see that, my lord, the charges were framed, my lord, under 304 B, my lord. 34. So far, my lord, good understanding, my lord, the evidence on record, my lord, that prosecution witnesses, my lord, that does not make out, my lord, a case of, my lord, harassment and cruelty. It's in connection with the demand of dowry. So before her death. And my lord, here, another aspect, 498A, there was no charge under 498A. Cruelty, within the definition of, my lord, 498A is same, my lord. 304. And, my lord, the subject to correction by my lord, calling, my lord, APP, my lord. Here, my lord, in the judgment itself, my lord, not a single line regarding, my lord, 113B, my lord, of the Evidence Act, my lord. So there is a statutory presumption, my lord, and that 4 ingredients, my lord, that is to be fulfilled, my lord. It definitely occurred, my lord, unnatural, my lord. That was within 7 years. And even if we admit that there was some, my lord, demand, my lord, but there is no evidence to show that soon before death, my lord, she was subject to harassment and cruelty in connection with that demand for dowry. And non, my lord, criminal charge under 498A.
You led, you see, you introduced DW2. He's a student.
Right.
DW2 says that she was crying in the night. So why would somebody who was not harassed will be crying?
So it's not similar whether the other witness has said something about the father.
No, we don't know. You
That's
see,
why, my lord.
I am replying because you're asking me questions.
No, my lord, why? Because, my lord, that, my lord, yes, my lord, if you see that, my lord, TW9 1, my lord, regarding that medical evidence, definitely, my lord. it shows
Because
that, my lord,
you see, the froth is coming out from both the nostrils.
yes,
That is unlikely to occur unless there is a pressure extracted on the throat.
but whether they have done, and my lord.
No, is this okay?
Why? Because otherwise, normally, my lord, I would have started from the, my lord, PW2, my lord, the ocular witnesses, my lord. But since it was PW1 and
No, Mr. Chaudhary, don't worry about our question. You proceed as per your
Yes.
preparation.
no, my lord, then.
You see, the reason is that you introduced DW1. DW1 says that she fell from the wooden
Yes.
bed. So therefore, you see, it's you are introducing something in the evidence, and therefore, when there's an evidence of strangulation, then you see, by taking that burden on you by reducing DW, you took the burden of disproving it.
Here, my lord, as per the learning, my lord, trial court, my lord, we relied on the PW6, my lord, eyewitness and circumstantial evidence. My lord, that inference, my lord, any negative inference possibly can be drawn only to complete the check, my lord. Additional link, my lord. possibly not otherwise, man, but limited understanding. Here, because starting from PW two, my lord, who is the father, my lord, if your lordship goes through the evidence of father, my lord, he doesn't say about any harassment by the husband. He doesn't say anything specific against the, my lord.
What is the date of her marriage and the death? Because presumption under 113 capital A would also come in.
That come, my lord, because it is just within 1.5 months.
Huh.
That will come, my lord. All, my lord, others are there, but that part, my lord, what I am harping on is that, my lord, that cruelty and harassment was meted to her in connection with the demand of dowry. That part with my limited, my lord, that part possibly our understanding, my lord, it has not been, my lord, come in during evidence, my lord. And if your lordship kindly have a look at EW two, my lord, page. বেলা যুদ্ধ হয় মানে। My lord, PW two, my lord, page 11, my lord. Here, my lord, he happens to be the informant, my lord, Haris Ali, the father of the, my lord, deceased, my lord. Here, that marriage date, Lord should find, my lord, 22/5/2014, my lord. And the occurrence, my lord, took place on 11/7/2014. That is around 1.5 months, my lord. And my lord, here, it's a, but since after the marriage, the accused had been torturing my daughter. On 9/7/14, my daughter Hamida came to my house and she informed that her, this is important, mother-in-law and father-in-law had demanded 1 lakh from her. The mother-in-law not made an accused, my lord. Then next, then I told my daughter that it would require some time. At that time, one brother-in-law of Hamida also came. Then I persuaded my daughter and sent her to my son-in-law's house. At the time of departure, I sent daughter of Hamida's maternal uncle named Bedana Begum along with her. This Bedana Begum, my lord, she has been, my lord, here, although it said Bedana Begum was there, my lord. Bedana Begum, PW6, neither there is any reference about her in the FIR, my lord. Neither PW2 says anything specific what Bedana stated, that strangulation and everything, my lord, that lord should find later on, my lord. Nothing else stated about that part, my lord. And Bedana Begum, witness was taken, evidence was taken, and 161 was and 160 both taken after 114 days, my lord, 145 days. So our case is that she has been introduced as an eyewitness at a later stage, my lord. Next, my lord, around 9:30 10 a.m. on 11/7/14, a person named Abdul Rahim informed me over phone that my daughter was admitted into Doboka Hospital in serious condition and that I could go there and if I want to see her. Then around 11:12 o'clock, I went to Doboka Hospital. Abdul Rahim was standing on the veranda.
Just a moment. Please cross-check with the with this file 3 or sorry 4 or 5 of 5, the last file is here 161 statement of Bedana Begum. And we also require the date of her examination by the police.
I got from the evidence of PWA. It is. So if your lordship has seen that PW2, my lord, the mother-in-law and father-in-law demanded 1 lakh rupees, my lord. And my lord, it doesn't say that, my lord, there was harassment and my lord torture meted upon her for that demand of that amount, my lord.
Her statement was recorded on 20th of November.
Too late. There's no explanation why there was a delay.
They have pinned it up together, I don't know why. Just pin up. It's recorded better than it's.
It was recorded on which date?
20th of November. Bedana Begum. It's so difficult to read. Lordship, if your lordship wants us to read, I can read it. Not much.
Not now, we just said that you may just go through it. Till,
Why they have pinned these pages together, I cannot make out.
no, that's okay. You omit that because this is something we can't have control over that. So omit those things.
তো হয় নাই চোৱা এইটো বেদেনা নহয় জানো বেদেনা বেগম এয়া পাই এইটো এইখিনি এইটো 20th November. Recorded my name. 21 লাগিছে এইবোৰো 20টো চোৱা এইটো 20তে চব কৰিছে দিছে অ 164 টাই কেছে আছে না 150 মোৰ ধুনীয়া আছে ভিক্টিম মৰিলে
Yes.
My, so here, my lord, page 12, my lord, the PW2, my lord. So, my lord, around 11:12 o'clock, I went to Doboka Hospital. Abdul Rahim was standing on the veranda of the hospital. Rahim said that the girl was in the room and then he left. Entering inside, I found my daughter dead. Nobody was present there. Later on, police and circle officer came and examined the dead body. That dead body was sent for PM and I saw injury on the neck of my daughter. Blood was oozing out from the ear. There was injury near the stomach too. Then I went to Morajar PS and filed an Ejahat there. The cross-examination, my lord, Lordship fine, my lord. I got the marriage of my daughter solemnized when she was 22 years old. She was studying in HS second year. Sabir Ahmed said that he had studied up to class 11. My daughter did not have love affair with any boy. Yeah, my lord, our case is that, my lord, that people that, my lord, she was not, she was liking somebody else, my lord. She was forced into marriage with the present, my lord, that Sabir, my lord. And my lord, she wanted to stay back at her father's house, my lord, but she was rather forced by her father. No, you go. So, my lord, the whole incident occurred. That is their, my lord, defense, my lord. And my daughter stayed only for 1.5 months in her husband's house. During this time, I visited my son-in-law's house approximately 4 times. At that time, she talked about the harassment she suffered at the hands of the parents-in-law. Kindly have a look, ma'am. Now, it is not a fact that my daughter said that she would stay there and she asked me to take her away. She did not tell me properly as to what kind of torture was meted out to her by her parents-in-law. I did not see how and where my daughter died. I did not hear it from any other person. My daughter told me first about the demand for 1 lakh rupees. So, my lord, there was, for the first time, that demand was made. The other part crossed for Sabir, my lord. The Ejaha was written in Muraja police. A petition writer wrote the Ejaha. I did not mention in the Ejaha that I persuaded the girl and sent her along with Bedana to her husband's house. It is a fact that I did not tell all this before the police as well. It is a fact that I did not tell all this before the police as well. And even, my lord, later on Lord should find, my lord, before the IOPW 9, my lord, the PW 10, my lord, page 33, that he did not, at the first instance, he did not utter anything regarding whole incident to the police, my lord. When there was nobody, he was alone, my lord, with the police officer, my lord. That later on, Lordship, page 33, PW 10 will show it, my lord. A person named Sahabuddin first bought the proposal of marriage of so and so with Sabir. He came with the proposal 1 week before the marriage. Before marriage, Sabir did not go to see the girl. I came to see Sabir. He works as a mason. It is not a fact that I did not talk with Sabir. After the occurrence, I asked the neighbors of Sabir about the occurrence. None of the neighbors said that he or she went to the house of the accused. After the marriage, my daughter came to my house for 3-4 times. It's not a fact that on 9/7/14, I called Sabir and asked him to send Hamida because her mother was ill. At the time of leaving my house, Hamida took a sari from my house. When the demand of rupees 1 lakh was made, I did not talk with Sabir's parents. It's not a fact that my daughter did not inform me about her parents-in-law making a demand for 1 lakh rupees and that her parents-in-law also did not demand that money. It is not a fact that I did not send Bedana with her. It is not a fact that there was no injury on the body of the daughter. It is not a fact that accused did not assault my daughter. So here, Lordship Singh, my lord, that Bedana's story has not been stated by him, my lord, and there is no mention of harassment by Sabir and no specific allegation regarding harassment by Amir also. And Ball's statement that the parents-in-law used to torture her, my lord. Now, PW 3, my lord, case 15 is the uncle, my lord.
PW2 is uncle.
Uncle. PW3, my lord, here also see that he said that I heard of that after the marriage, Hamida had been tortured by accused Sabir and parents. On 9/7/14, Hamida came to her father's house with her brother-in-law. Then I came to know from Hamida that after demanding 1 lakh rupees from her, her parents-in-law drove her out from the house. The parents-in-law also here, my lord. Then Hamida was sent back to her husband's house with an assurance that something in this regard would be done. Vedana was also sent along with her. This part, Lord should find later on that it was not stated before the IO that Vedana went with him, my lord, with the my lord, this is my lord. And on 11/7/14, Harris informed me over phone that Hamida was found dead at Doboka. I went there and after getting postmortem examination done on the dead body of Hamida, I brought the dead body back. Therefore, I suspected that due to non-fulfillment of demand for money, the accused killed Hamida. My lord, in the cross, it is not a fact that I did not state before police about the demand for rupees 1 lakh. I did not talk anything with the accused. It is not a fact that I did not state before police about sending Vedana along with Hamida. This later on also find from the IO, my lord, PW9, case 32, that this part was not stated before him, my lord. In his 161, my lord. Hamida did not wish to go to her husband's house until money was given. After the marriage, Hamida came to my house for 1-2 times. Son-in-law did not come. Son-in-law works as a mason. It is not a fact that Hamida did not say that her parents, after demanding money, had tortured her. It is not a fact that she did not say on 9/7/14 the accused had demanded 1 lakh rupees from her and driven her out from her house. It is not a fact that I have deposed falsely for the sake of my younger brother. So he states, my lord, that he heard regarding that part, my lord, torture, and parents-in-law demanded and tortured, my lord. And there is no mention of harassment by the husband, my lord, even by PW3 also, my lord. PW4, my lord, is the brother, my lord, of the deceased, my lord. That is page 17, my lord. The informant is my father. This is Hamida, was my elder sister. Accused Sabir Ahmed is my brother. The other one is his father. Occurrence took place on 11/7/14. Around 7 a.m., my sister Hamida made a phone call to me and asked me over phone to go to their house immediately. I went to their house. I did not meet Hamida. The accused told that my sister had been taken to Doboka Hospital At that time, Vedana came out and I asked her about my elder brother. Vedana told me that the accused assaulted Hamida at night by pressing her neck. He also assaulted her on her ear and stomach. Going to Doboka hospital, I found the dead body of my elder sister. Later, my father lodged the Ejahar. At the time I left for my elder sister's house, my father was not at home. I was informed that prior to the occurrence, the accused had demanded 1 lakh rupees and he had also assaulted my elder sister. When the phone call was made, I was little away from home. After receiving the phone call, I came home. I did not inform my parents of it. Going to the house of the accused, I asked one person about my elder sister, but I could not recognize him. It is not a fact that I did not tell before police that when I asked Bedana when she came out, she replied that the accused had assaulted Hamida. That the accused had pressed the neck of Hamida and that the accused had hit on Hamida's ear and stomach. It is not a fact that I did not tell before the police that I had gone to the hospital along with Bedana and I had found the dead body of the sister in the hospital. It is not a fact that I did not tell before the police that making a phone call to me, my elder sister told me that the accused, upon demanding money from her, had assaulted her. I was in the hospital for 10-15 minutes. I did not meet my father and uncle in the hospital. Returning home, I told my father about the occurrence. Father says he was informed by Hakim Milo and he immediately went to that Abdul Rohim Milo and he went to Doboka hospital. Here also find that the brother did not meet his father or uncle in the hospital, madam. Nobody was there, madam. And rather he says that returning home, I stated the fact to my father, madam. It's not a fact that my elder sister did not call me to her house by making a phone call to me and that she did not tell me that the money had been demanded from her and she had been assaulted over that issue. It is not a fact that Vedana did not tell me about the occurrence. I told the police that I only suspected that my elder sister, husband and parents-in-law had assaulted her. My elder sister and accused got married 1.5 months ago. Before the IO, my lord, that part that his sister told him regarding assault, it was not stated, my lord. They later on also find, my lord. PW9, my lord. Now, my lord, regarding, my lord, that the PW4 says he heard it from PW6, my lord. And the father does not say anything about PW2, my lord, that he went there and PW6 told PW4 regarding the whole incident, my lord. Case 20, my lord, that PW5, my lord, he is also the uncle, my lord. The informant Haris Ali is my elder brother. This is Hamida Begum was my niece. Accused Sabir Ahmed is Hamida's widower. And the other one is her father-in-law. On the last 22/5/14, the marriage between Hamida and Sabir was held. Since a few days after marriage, the accused had been torturing Hamida by demanding dowry. On 9/7/14, she came to the house of the informant along with her brother-in-law. At night, Hamida told her father that her parents-in-law and her husband had demanded 1 lakh rupees and that therefore she was required to take money with her. Around 10 a.m. the next day, when my brother informed me about it, I persuaded her and asked her to go back to her husband's house with an assurance to do something with after Ramzan. Then Hamida returned to her husband's house with her daughter of her maternal uncle. Around 11 a.m. on 11/7/14, Hamida died in the Boga hospital. After receiving the news, I came to hospital. The police had already sent the dead body to Nagaon for postmortem. Later, my brother lost the case. The cross matter, I heard that demanding money, the accused had tortured Hamida. I heard. I was present in the wedding ceremony. I was not present at the discussion held for the arrangement of marriage. I did not have any conversation with the parents-in-law of Hamida. I did not meet my elder brother in the hospital. I met my elder brother at Daboka police station. At the time of lodging Zahar, I, along with my elder brother, I met Abdul Hakim and Bedana at police station. I did not meet Abdul Hakim and Bedana at Morajar PS. On the following day of occurrence, the police questioned me. The distance between my elder brother's house and that of mine is 300 meters. On 9/7/14, Hamida paid a visit to my house. It is not a fact that the statement of Hamida's father demanded 1 lakh rupees is false, and I did not tell police about it. I did not tell the police that I persuaded Hamida that something would be done after Ramadan, and Hamida had gone to her husband's house along with the daughter of her maternal uncle.
Ms. Jahan, just give me the LCR for a moment.
So, PW5 lordship had seen my lord. He doesn't say about the harassment meted upon the deceased for or in connection with the demand of dowry. And regarding that Bedana also, my lord, he had not stated that part to the IO that Bedana accompanied the victim man. That lordship find from later on from PW9 page 32, my lord. Now that Bedana's evidence, my lord, page 23, my lord.
Please continue.
My lord. So PW, my lord, that's 6, my lord, the most important witness, my lord, as per the prosecution, my lord, page 23. The informant is my uncle, Hamida was the daughter of my said uncle. Accused Sabir is Hamida's widow. Other one is his father-in-law. On 9/7/14, Hamida came to my uncle's house. On 13/7/14, when Hamida went back, I went with her. At night, when all sat together after dinner at the house of the accused, then father of Hamida asked her whether she got the money or not. Then Hamida said that the money demanded would be given after Ramadan. Then this the following then sister-in-law of my elder sister took me to another room to sleep. The following morning, Hamida called me to take a meal after waking up. Then her father-in-law called her and said that she would go after serving meal to me. When I was taking my meal, I heard a scream. It was Hamida's scream. Going there, I saw Hamida's father-in-law sitting on her chest and pressing her neck. The mother-in-law of Hamida pulled her by the hair. Her husband was holding and pulling both her legs. At that time, Ramana came and slapped me and kept me in another room. I do not know what happened afterwards. Later, when the door was open and people gathered, I asked as to what happened. I was told that my elder sister was taken to hospital. After some time, my cousin Hakim, son of the PW4 Malo, came and I accompanied him to Daboka Hospital. Hakim found Hamida dead in the hospital and later he returned from there to tell the father about the occurrence. After lodging of the case, police questioned me. I was taken to Honorable Court for recording my recording my statement. So here, Lord should find that in her evidence, my lord, she stated that following morning, my lord, morning. And later on also find in her 161, the IO has proven, she stated, my lord, in the night, my lord. Incident occurred in the night. In the evidence, and 164, she stated that it was in the morning, my lord. Now, my lord, in the cross, my lord, I voluntarily went with Hamida to her father-in-law's house. Hamida asked me to accompany her. When I went with Hamida, her brother-in-law was along with us, but I do not know his name. I went on the bike of her brother-in-law. I did not see other relatives in the hospital except Hakim. I came to my uncle's house, husband of my father, after returning from hospital. Uncle and aunt had already got the news. This is important, madam. I could not tell my uncle about the occurrence. I did not tell my uncle about the occurrence. After 2-3 months, the police questioned me in connection with the occurrence. After 3-4 months, the police took me to the Honorable Court. During this period, I was at home. It is not a fact that I just stated before police on so and so that the accused assaulted Hamida. So kindly see, my lord, she remained mum, my lord, for 3-4 months, my lord, being the most vital witness and who has been projected to be the eyewitness, my lord. Now, my lord, Hamida's father-in-law, it is not a fact that I stated before police that in the night of so and so, Hamida's father-in-law assaulted Hamida, that the following day, as Hamida was incapable of speaking, her husband and her father-in-law taken her to Dovoga Hospital. So, but before police, she stated it was during the night, my lord. It is not a fact that I did not tell before the police that the following day Hakim and I had got to the hospital. It is not a fact that I neither told the police nor the magistrate that Ramanna had slapped me and put me in a room. The Ramana's that sister-in-law, she has also not been made an accused, my lord. Nothing has been stated again regarding her, my lord. It is not a fact that I said in my statement before the magistrate that when the accused had demanded money, a person and I had been present. It is not a fact that I did not say in my statement before magistrate that her father-in-law Hamida had sat on her chest and praised her neck and that Sabir had been holding her legs. It is not a fact that on 10/7/14 I did not go along with Hamida to the house of father-in-law and they did not demanded any money before me. It is not a fact that Hamida's parents and her husband did not assaulted Hamida. It is not a fact that Ramana did not have slapped me and I did not go to the hospital. It is not a fact that I did not see the occurrence and and that as tutor, I gave false statement and have adduced false evidence. So she being the eyewitness and the most vital witness, my lord, she remained mum, my lord. She did not state about the whole incident to anybody, to the uncle also. And she did not raise any hue and cry, and she did not try to intervene, and she stayed at home for 3-4 months. There was no threat perception to her, my lord. She was staying at her home, my lord. And our case that she has been planted, my lord, and absolutely a concocted and an unreal story has been put out, my lord, and considering the delay in recording her evidence, my lord, it is absolutely, my lord, her witness is unreliable, my lord. And even in her 161, she stated the occurrence took place at night, and 164 and in evidence, she stated that it occurred in the morning, my lord. So all this makes us an unreliable witness, and the prosecution possibly cannot take her evidence into account for, my lord, convicting the present appellants, my lord. Now, PW7 is the person, my lord, who put the signature in the inquest report, my lord. He visited the hospital for some other work, so his statement, his signature was taken, my lord. That is the against it. That is his part only, my lord. Now, my lord, PW8 is important, my lord. He happens to be the person, the IO, my lord, who recorded the statement of PW6, my lord. Here, my lord, page 29, my lord. On 18/7/14, I was working as OCA of Morazar PS. On being transferred of previous IO, SI Rajiv Bora, I was handed over the CD of so-and-so for further investigation. I forwarded the witness Vedana for recording her statement under 164 before the magistrate. The accused Sabir Ahmed and Amiruddin surrendered before PS, man. And I arrested them, and thereafter I recorded their statement. So conduct wise, my lord, kindly see, they had surrendered, my lord. Subsequently, I forwarded the accused to the honorable court and then sent to jail. Later on, I collected supplementary CD from Dobaga PS, having found material against the accused in CD. I filed charge sheet under 304B and 34 to face trial. Across, my lord, the preliminary investigation was done by the different IO. I was the prime IO of this case. I have not recorded their marriage when it took place. I cannot say whether the occurrence took place within 7 years prior to their marriage or not. Witness Vedana, that is PW6, my lord, whom I examined, is the daughter of deceased father, told me that the victim deceased was subject to torture prior to the occurrence. I have recorded the statement of only 2 witnesses. Based on the statement of other witnesses, including the witness I examined, I filed charge sheet against the accused person. The date of occurrence was 11/7/2014 at 10 a.m. On 18/7, I got charge of investigation in this case. Now, this is important, madam. On 3/12/14, the 164 statement of Vedana was recorded by the magistrate. I also recorded 161 statement of Vedana on the same date, 3/12, but from the 2011 Palani.
2011 কতটা লিখেছে এটা?
হ্যাঁ? হ্যাঁ?
এটা ভুলকে লিখেছে।
অলপমান আগত হবে, 10-12 দিন। So here, my lord, 3/12/164 was recorded. And on the same day, 161 CRPC was recorded, but as the lordship has possibly seen, my lord, if it is 2011 also, then only, my lord, then 13 days ago, my lord, that means it will be around 132 days, my lord. If we take that date, my lord.
Something is wrong. I put a flag at the LCR. I think her statement is on 2010-2014. Check up. That's stapled. That's stapled document at last file.
This 2010 is the 2010. No, 2010 is in respect of the other witness, Abdul Halim,
Okay, and her?
and her starts after this, Abdul Halim ends, Vedana Begum, and then the next page it is shown, it is 2011. I think the date is given on the end of the statement,
2011,
2011.
14.
Okay.
But then in this process is a different date.
And this delay, I think there is a reason because one of the officer got transferred.
No, but you see, what was the public prosecutor doing in the trial?
Transferred on 18/7.
I mean. PW9 said he got transferred, he did not record bed enough.
The three IOs.
Three IOs. And the second IO recorded this statement.
We don't know from there, we can't understand who has written that. Signature, you'll be better equipped. Because in the prior page, you'll find that names given. Who is that IO, you will find it from there. Few pages plus or minus, you will get it.
IO's name, because it will be reflected, I believe, here.
No, from the date you will find it out. I will give a deposition. From a deposition that I was in that police station from so and so. So
Yes.
therefore, from there you will find out.
That is how I found out that this one, PW8 had recorded her statement.
Okay. Bipin Chandranath.
Bipin Chandranath.
Bipin Chandranath will be the first IO.
18/7, he got the charge of investigation. No, the first IO is 9.
Okay, 9. Rajiv Borwa is the first IO.
Rajiv Pura is the first IO.
Who received the FIR, madam?
And Bipin Chandranath, he took charge on 18/7. 3/12, he said that I recorded the statement. It's 2/11. By 2011. Because Bipin Chandra, the only explanation is that he came later and then there's some delay.
I don't know,
Overcharge.
he was there. He could have re-examined the witness and clarified these things.
Yes, it's could have been verified, not done in so many, it's the lapse. But here in the High Court, I can give this explanation as
Even one of the point, and this if she was the eyewitness. Why should be withheld by the prosecution? Or by the madam, their father, madam? She would rather told about the whole scenario to the father, madam. Or she would have run to the police station. I have seen nothing is there, I mean. And father doesn't say about her. She going there, madam. Our case that she has been. Our evidence has been brought into only to make out this case. That too at a benefit state. If you also take it at 20 also, 2011, then also more than day 135, 32.
Perhaps she would be equivalent to her evidence would be valued that at the ratio of 5:1, and so therefore she was examined later.
and pretty much 5 ingredients I need to prove in 304B. Her evidence will not matter. I can take other evidences.
But my evidence has to be cogent, persuasive, and my lord, just 2, 3 lines that I found, my lord. So our understanding possibly that is not there, my lord. Maybe wrong, my lord, subject to correction by your lordship, my lord. Now, my lord, here, my lord, page 30. There, lordship, find, my lord, just last night, Vedana Begum in her once you state recorded and stated that when the demand was made, another person was present along with her. I asked her the name of the person who was present along with her, but she did not say. On 10/7 evening, Vedana came to the father-in-law's house and along with Hamida. Hamida, as per statement given, on the night of 10/7/14, Hamida gave rice to eat, and at that time, inside the house, she heard the sound of crying of Hamida, and she saw Hamida's father-in-law and husband were pressing the neck and assaulting her on the night. Kindly see, my lord, on the night. This incident took place in the night of 10/7/14. In 164, Vedana stated that Hamida's sister-in-law, Umama, brought her to another room and asked her to sleep. Umama then left the room, and then Vedana slept in the room and did not know what happened during the night. Vedana, in a 164 statement, stated a statement that on the next day, she woke up around 6:30 a.m. in the morning, and after some time, Hamida called her to have rice, and she went to the kitchen. Now, Malab, can you see? The investigation was initiated on the strength of GD entry number 232, dated 11/7 at 10:30 a.m. The inquest was prepared on the basis of GD entry. Even PM was conducted on the basis of GD entry. So investigation comments on the basis of that case 100, my lord. General diary entry, my lord. And inquest report, sketch map, sending the body, everything was done as per that GD entry, my lord. It is not a fact that there was no material under so and so, so and so. Of Malo, another line. The FIR of this case was sent to Elaka Magistrate from PS on 14/7/2014, my lord. There is no explanation. Why the delay, my lord? It was a serious offense, my lord. Somebody can be imprisoned for life, my lord. It has to be prompt, my lord. "31 is the, my lord, the OC, my lord, the first person who IO, my lord, who received the FIR, my lord. On so and so, I was working as OC Murazhar PS. On that day, I received an FIR from Harij Ali at about 4:45 p.m. and registered the case Murazhar PS so and so and investigated the case. I visited the place of occurrence on the same day and draw up rough sketch map of the occurrence. And I examined witness name Harij Ali, Nizamuddin, Moinuddin, Abdul Ahed, Faizur Rahman. Thereafter, I got transferred. The inquest was done by circle officer and PM was done on Nagaon Civil Hospital. In the cross, my lord, kindly see, I do not know on what strength Doboka PS investigated the case, my lord. I did not collect the GD entry report during my investigation period. I recorded the statement of witnesses Nizamuddin and Harij Ali at 5:45 p.m. I also recorded the statement of Abdul Ahed and Fawazur. These two persons are not, my lord, cited as prosecution witnesses, my lord, nor examined, my lord. Abdul Ahed and Fawazur, my lord. Now, my lord, Exhibit 6 sketch map of the place of occurrence where Index A indicates the house of accused Sabir Ahmed, which is also the place of occurrence. Index C indicates the house of accused Amir Ali. It is a residential house. I did not show the household articles in the rough sketch map. There were some other houses nearby the place of occurrence. There was the house of Alal Uddin and Islam Uddin. I did not examine them as witnesses in this case. So nearby people, neighbor, my lord, most vital independent witnesses, Alal and Islam Uddin, not examined, my lord. I have not found the seized articles today in the court. It is not a fact that I have not seized the seized articles, pertaining to the inquest and sending the dead body of the deceased to the morgue, I cannot say. Now, my lord, it is not stated by Moinuddin, that is PW3, my lord, that Hamida went to the house of her father-in-law's house with Bedana. PW3 was the uncle, my lord. So he did not state about that part, my lord, that Bedana was sent along with Hamida, my lord. I have not recorded the statement of 161 of witness Abdul Hakim, but it was recorded by another IO. It is stated before IO in his 161 statement that Bedana has stated about the incident to him, and she stated before the IO that he came to the house and found his sister's body, dead body. The witness has not stated before the IO that his elder sister told him regarding the assault by demanding money. That part not stated before the IO, madam. It is not a fact that I did not examine Nizamuddin on the day of occurrence. It is not a fact that I did not ask the witness regarding the occurrence on that day. It is stated before by witness Nizamuddin that Hamida's father told him regarding demand of 1 lakh from Hamida by the accused. It is not stated before me by this witness that the maternal uncle's daughter of Hamida was accompanied with Hamida when she returned to the house of her husband. So PW's 5 also, my lord. Another uncle, my lord. He also doesn't say, my lord, that Bedana went along with Hamida to the house of her in-laws, my lord. Now, my lord, that page 33 is the ASI, my lord, who, my lord, received the, upon receipt of the, my lord, that information, my lord, that she prepared the GD entry and he went to Doboka, my lord, that hospital, my lord. On the day at 10:30 AM, upon receiving an information by Doboka so-and-so, that a lady, namely Hamida Begum, under so-and-so was taken to hospital in a dying condition. Accordingly, Doboka PS GD entry dated so-and-so was prepared by OC. I endorsed the investigation of the same. I went to Doboka CHC and I found the dead body of Hamida, and therefore after the inquest was done by magistrate and the dead body was sent to so-and-so for PM. On 19/7 so-and-so, I collected PM report and therefore handed over the so-and-so to OC Doboka. In the cross, my lord, circle officer conducted inquest in presence of me. The dead body was identified by Haris Badruddin and Constable Mintu Bora. They were also witness to the inquest. The witness Haris is the father of deceased Hamida. I did not record the statement of witness Haris and Badruddin. This is important, but these 2 persons, that is Haris and Badruddin, did not state me about the incident, my lord. So Haris is the father, my lord, PW2. He was in the hospital, my lord, that at the time of inquest, he made this ASI, my lord. So regarding the whole incident, nothing was stated to the present, my lord, ASI Jiten Bora by Haris as well as Badruddin, my lord.
But you see, Mr. Chaudhary, you see, in your cross-examination, you brought out a very damning evidence against you. Come to page 21, cross-examination of PW5. At about 6 lines. I met Abdul Hakim and Bedana at police station.
Right.
Therefore, her presence is there in the police station. Police did not record it. So it's not that this woman was not there, but she was there, but police did not record for some reasons.
Maybe it is there, my lord, the delay part, my lord, after 140.
Oh, that's okay,
That is, my lord, possibly, my lord.
that's
it-
okay.
It may be fatal, my lord, so far our understanding. is.
Okay.
She did not tell to the father, uncle, she did not say about the order to the uncle, my lord, the father. Not to anybody else, my lord. In her own, my lord, that was examination, my lord. She said.
No, that brother is also subsequent development, I feel. That the earlier statement, 161.
Father also doesn't say about it. It is not a brother.
Okay, we'll take a short break and come back. Yes.
Madam, before going to the DW, madam, I'll just be placing a few other pages, madam, that regarding that anti-time FIR, my lord. At Page 79, my lord, what should find, my lord, the PM report, my lord. 79.
Yes.
Here also find that references regarding that GDMJ, my lord. Reference Dhaboka PS case number GDMJ 70, no mention about the FIR. And that. The top, my lord. Was seen by the fourth minor on 31/3/16. Page 88, minor, the inquest report also, minor. So, minor, no mention about the GDMT or FIR. Stage, minor, the sketch map, minor, seen on 31/3/15, that is page 96, minor. So drawn on 11/7, FI was settled on 47 level. Sketch में possibly madam, our not set along with the FI. The severely solved madam. Page 98.
Yes.
Now coming to PW's minor, page 34 is one Salaha Begum. She says, my lord, I know the accused Sabir and Amir Ali. The name of the wife of the accused Sabir is Hamida Begum. The marriage took place 4 years ago. Hamida died 1.5 years, 1.5 months of her marriage. My house is situated nearby the house of Hamida. About 4 years back, one day at 8:30 a.m., I went to the house of Hamida, that is the house of the accused person. I called Hamida, but I did not get any response from her. Then I entered into their house. I entered into their house and pushing the door of the room and found that Hamida was hanging in condition. She was found hanging with a sari on a bamboo bar. Then I raised and at that time I raised alarm, and at that time Sabir Ahmed, who was working in the nearby his house, was working in nearby of his house, and he rushed to his house. At that time, I hold her foot and asked Sabir to bring it out to cut the sari, and Sabir brought it out from another room and cut the sari from which Hamida was hanging. At that time, I could not maintain the balance and Hamida fell down on a palm made of wood. At that time, Hamida was taking breath slowly. At that time, Hamida's father-in-law, Amir Ali, and mother-in-law came to the spot, and we arranged a car and took her to Daboka Civil Hospital. Sabir, Islamuddin, and Jamal took her to Daboka Hospital. I also went to the hospital along with them. And uncle of Sabir Ahmed, MPO, informed the father of Hamida over phone about the incident, and they came. Hamida did not respond. Sabir, as her husband, and Sabir also sometimes tell me that Hamida is not serving as a good wife. It is also a fact that Hamida did not respond to her in-laws. One day before the incident, Hamida went to the house of her father and remained there for one night. When she visited her father's house, she accompanied by her brother-in-law, Saidul Alam. When I went to visit the house of Hamida Begum, none was present from the side of deceased family. Now, cross my husband name is Suncho, Sabir Ahmed is my cousin brother, and Arjuz Abi is my own uncle. Islamuddin, Jamal, and Alauddin are our neighbors. I did not visit the house of the accused at night. I did not. I cannot say what happened in the night in the house of accused. I cannot say the exact date of occurrence. After my screening, accused Sabir came immediately, and thereafter Jamaluddin and Islamuddin came, and some other person also came in thereafter. I did not visit the other room of the accused house, therefore I cannot say whether some persons are there or not. I did not meet the police and also did not go to PS and also did not make any statement before the police regarding the occurrence. Accused brought me to depose my evidence in respect of their defense. It is not a fact that I am deposing false evidence before the court by considering the real fact. It is not a fact that the accused used to torture physically and mentally to the victim Hamida for demand of dowry and rape in the. She is a neighbor and also the cousin sister of the Sabir Saidul Alam is the brother cousin brother, although it is stated their own brother, your father's name is different. The victim Hamida is my sister-in-law. Hamida's father over telephone told to father-in-law of Hamida that her mother was sick, so Hamida should come to her father's house to see her mother. After receiving the phone, my uncle, that is Hamida's father-in-law, asked me to accompany Hamida to her father's house. Then I, along with Hamida, went to her father's house. Then I, along with Hamida, went to her father's house at Surancho village, Parikhana village. In the evening, we reached Hamida's father's house. In the evening, I went to ramble on the brother Hamida. I do not know the name of the brother Hamida. In the night at about 8 p.m., Hamida's father returned to her house from his room. At that time, while I was taking rest in her room, I heard that Hamida was telling her father that she was not willing to return back to her in-laws' house. Then Hamida's father told Hamida that he brought her to see her father. Now, why you want to return to the matrimonial house? Then, why don't you want to return to the matrimonial house? Then Hamida's father told Hamida that I gave your marriage after facing so many troubles, and there is a reason why there is no reason why you should not go to your matrimonial house. Thereafter, I went to sleep. At that time, I was studying and my examination was going on. And that was why in the morning I want to return back to my house. And I told Hamida return with me. At that time, Hamida told her father that she is not willing to return back to her matrimonial home. At that time, Hamida's father rebuked her why you don't want to go to your husband's house and forced her to go to her matrimonial house. At that time, Hamida told her father that was her last visit to her paternal house and she will not visit again and he will not see her face again. Thereafter, I, along with Hamida, in a Starbucks, came to Lanka Bazaar and got them at Lanka Bazaar. When Hamida purchased the sari from Lanka Bazaar, I asked why she purchased the sari. Then she told me that there is necessary for sari. On the next day, after returning from house, Hamida died. Subsequently, I came to know that she committed suicide by sari. The accused Sabir is my own brother. Accused Amiruddin is my uncle. Parents of my sister-in-law is at Patna. I went to her house only one time. On which date I went to the house, I cannot say. I don't know the brother's name of the victim. The house of the victim's father is Kacha, one consisting of 2 rooms. The distance between Lanka town and Surancho victim house is over 15-20 kilometers. The father of the victim called over phone to brother Sabir Ahmed and the informant. He was at working place. The father of the victim came to his house at about 8 p.m. I did not take the victim in the morning. Other parents' house. I was alone at night in the room in the house of the informant and other three members of the victim stays in another room. At about 9 p.m., the victim was crying and talking with his family members. I did not visit their room. I did not ask the reason of the crying. In the morning, the sister-in-law didn't return to her husband's house. Then her father and mother tried to convince her to go to her husband's house. I took my sister-in-law directly to the house of my brother Sabir Ahmed. I don't recognize the shop from where the victim purchased the sari, but it was from Lampatan. Purchased the sari at ₹100. I forgot the color of the sari. I didn't say about the same fact of purchasing sari and about putting in my parents' house to my uncle and his brother. The date police visited our house, I did not meet them as I was in school and taking my exam. I did not go to the police station and take anything regarding the offense. I did not receive any summons from court, but my accused brother got me to depose my evidence in the court. It is not the fact that I am deposing false evidence. By considering the real fact, it is not the fact that the accused killed the victim by torturing and did not kill the victim. EW3 is independent member. Nearby case 38. I know both the parties of this case. The offense took place around 4 years ago. At 8 a.m., I heard hue and cry found that the sound of hue and cry was coming from the house of the accused person. I immediately rushed to the spot and found that in the mango beam of the house, Hamida was hanging at the sari. At that time, Saleha Begum caught the legs of the victim and the accused Sabir Ahmed out of the cut the sari from which the victim was hanging. At that time, Saleha Begum could not manage balance of the victim's body and was stuck when caught of the room and sustained injury on the left side of the face. At that time, many other people assembled there and they were telling that the victim was alive. Then we arranged a car and I, along with Sabir and Saleha Begum, took the victim to Doboga Hospital. After 20 minutes, the accused Amir Ali Amiruddin, the father-in-law of the victim, reached the hospital. Thereafter, the father of the victim also came to the hospital. The cross Malone, my house is situated near the house of accused person. I cannot say the exact date of occurrence where I had seen the victim Hamida was hanging in the position. I cannot say what actually happened at the house of the accused before my arrival there. I have not seen how the victim Hamida was hanging in position. I went to the hospital along with the victim Hamida. After some time, the brother of the victim also came to the hospital after my arrival. We directly took the victim to the hospital from the house of the accused Sadiq. After crossing the road of the Doboka PS, we reached the hospital. He neither informed the police nor we took her to the PS as the victim was alive at that time. I don't know when the victim greeted her last. One Alauddin house is very nearby the house of the accused. Some small children went to the house of the accused, that is place of offense after the offense, and they reached there before me. Police visited the house of the accused person, but I did not meet police. Later on, I came to know that a case has been filed against the accused person. They also informed me. I never went to the PS to state anything about what I have seen on the date of offense. I used my evidence on the request of the accused person. I have not received any summons issued from the court. Although victim was alive while taking her to the hospital, but I did not ask her anything about the offense. We only took the victim for her treatment at the hospital. We took the victim by a Maruti 800 car driven by Morsed Ali, who is residing in Now Village. It is not a fact when Sabir Ahmed cut the sari and Saleha tried to hold the body and she fell down a sustained injury due to loss of balance. It is not a fact that the accused person committed murder to the victim, Hamida. It is not a fact that I am proving falsely by committing the real fact before the school. Now, case 40 is my DW4, the accused himself against evidence matter. DW4, Sabir Ahmed. Case 40. Now, twins took place about 4 years ago. There was no quarrel between victim and myself. The victim, Hamida, was married with me against her will. She was in love with another boy before her marriage, and as the said boy went to Mumbai, her father forcibly gave her marriage, so gave marriage Hamida with me against her will. Hamida herself disclosed to me that she had love affair with that boy before her marriage, and then I informed this to Hamida's father over phone. After getting information from me, Hamida's father brought her to our parental house and told her that you are already married with Sabir, so you have to maintain family life. After returning, Hamida told that she was not willing to live with me and if force is applied, that she will commit suicide. I immediately informed Hamida's father that Hamida told me that she will commit suicide if she is forced to live with me. Then her father told me that it is up to Hamida what she wants to do. I am a mason by profession and I used to go out of my work in the morning. After marriage, she was continuously behave like this. One day, the father of Hamida over telephone informed me that Hamida's mother was sick and I should send her to father's house to see her father. Then I informed it to my father and my father sent Hamida to her parental house along with Saidul Ahmed. My father asked Saidul to accompany Hamida to her father's house. They spent one night in her father's house when Saidul and Hamida was going to her father's house. Then Hamida expressed before me that she will not return again to my house at my home. Hamida's father forcibly sent Hamida to my house as Hamida was not willing to return to her matrimonial house. When Hamida returned from her father's house, she purchased a sari from Lanka Bazaar. It was nylon sari. When I saw the sari, I asked her what to do with that sari. So she said she would keep the sari on the roof of the house as Chamdua. The next morning, she committed suicide. At that time, I was out of the house to do my work as a mason. And when I heard hue and cry from my house, I immediately came to my house and found that she was hanging in the bamboo beam. I found Saleha Begum there and told her to call the victim feet and I cut the side from which she was lying the body fell down on the floor and Saleha could not maintain the balance of victim. The other villagers also assembled there and they told that she was still alive and village doctor was also present there and accordingly I along with Jamaluddin Saleha take the victim to Dodeka hospital in Nepal. And they demanded any amount of money from the victim or victim's mother. never assaulted her or tortured the victim. Right across our marriage was solemnized socially. I did not get to see the victim before marriage. Later, our personal, our social custom, our concern, myself and victim was obtained before witness. She also confessed and agreed to marry with me, and therefore without witness, I also use my mobile phone. I also sometimes talk with my father-in-law and his family with my mobile. After returning back from work, I came to know that my mother-in-law was sick, hence my wife went there along with my cousin brother. I did not go there on the next day. She came back. I didn't know the name of the girl whom she had met before marriage. On the occurrence day, I was working nearby our house, from which I heard clear cry at our house. I was just 100 meters away from my house at the time of occurrence. Along with me, one Faizul was working in the household with Faizul was also came to my house along with me upon hearing shouting. After seeing my wife in a position, I did not inform the police or village counselor or other person. We brought the victim to hospital with Maruti car of Musidali. We brought her at Doboka CHC. The distance in Doboka hospital and Doboka PS is 150 meters. After taking her to hospital, I did not go to police. Yes, it is not a fact that the victim had no extramarital affairs. I explained her dissatisfaction to enjoy the conjugal life with me, and she never told me that she commit suicide. It is not a fact that I never informed the mother to her father. It is not a fact that we tortured her demanding to this one life. It is not a fact that we killed the victim. It is not a fact that witness Vandana Begum was also present on the occurrence and the day of the our house, and we tortured the victim in her presence. It is not a fact that I did not force to accept myself from this case. PW5 is the father Balo. Thank you, the case for the marriage of Hamida and Sabir Ahmed. When Hamida stayed at our house, she was reluctant to do household work. She used to receive anonymous phone calls. When we asked her from where phone calls came, she used to tell us that the phone call was from her father. One day, phone call came from her father, Hamida, asking me to send Hamida to his house as Hamida's mother was sick. Then I sent Hamida along with Saidul, and they stayed there for 1 month. Then Saidul and Hamida returned to our house in the name this. Saidul told me that Hamida was not willing to return, but her father forcibly sent her to my house. And when returning from her parental house, she told her parents that it was her last visit and they will not mind to see her again alive. Hamida purchased a sari from Lanka Bazaar when she returned. On the next morning, she committed suicide by hanging in a bamboo by hanging with sari. At that time, I was in the paddy field. I rushed to the house. After hearing the evil cry, I found that Sabir, Salah, and Jamal took Hamida to Roboka Hospital. When Hamid returned to our house from her father's house, there was none to accompany her from her parents' house. Then I went to Roboka Hospital in a bike, and doctor told us that she has died. At the time, I want to go to Nogam. I wanted to go to Nogam for PM. At that time, I wanted to go to Nogam for the PM of the dead body, but Hamida's father did not allow me to accompany the dead body. We never demanded anything from Hamida and Hamida's father, and also did not torture Hamida during her stay in our house. The cross madam, I am one of the accused of this case. Sabir Ahmed is my own son. Victim deceased was my daughter-in-law. After marriage, about 45 days, she was staying at her house as the wife of my son, Sabir Ahmed. We live together as a joint family. The informant called over phone my brother Abdul Rahman and from about the fitness of his wife. The mother of the victim, my brother, resided separately in another house nearby house. The victim went to the house of the father's house and came to 11. Along with Saidi, I sent her along with him. At that time, I was at home. Sabir Ahmed was working in our village. And if this, he came back in the evening. Not talking was taken place with the victim and me. Saidul house is located nearby house. There was social marriage between my son and the victim. Prior to the marriage, I, along with my one of my relative went to the house of the victim to see her, but my son Sabir Ahmed did not come there. It is not a fact that I deposed falsely to the before this court. It is not a fact that I am one of the accused in this case, so I deposed falsely to escape.
Just a moment. Yes.
My lord, now coming to 313, my lord. That is defense part, my lord, that page 50, my lord. Last, my lord. Page 50, last, my lord. Do you want to say anything more or want to adduce evidence for your defense? Also got it, my lord. They are also find out father of the victim over phone informed me and asked me that Hamida's mother was ill and Hamida should be sent to her to see her mother. After getting the phone call, I allowed Hamida to go to visit her father's house and along with her nephew Saidul Alam accompanied her to her father's house. Hamida stayed one night there and next day morning she committed suicide. Hamida did not want to return back to my house, but her father forcibly sent her to my house. At that time, Vedana Begum did not accompany with her. After coming to Lanka, she purchased a sari and with that sari, she committed suicide. At the time of committing suicide, I was not present at the residence and my father was also not present at home. I was in paddy field. Saleh Begum saw and raised the alarm. After public came and I also came and brought down the dead body and took to hospital. We have not tortured her. What regarding the father, my lord, 313, that is 46, my lord, that last. Father of the victim over phone informed me and asked me that Hamida's mother was ill and Hamida should be sent to see her mother. After getting the phone call, I allowed Hamida to go to visit her father's house and I, along with my nephew Saidul Alam, accompanied her to her father's house. Hamida stayed one night there and next day morning committed suicide. Hamida did not want to return back to my house, but her father forcibly sent her to my house. At that time, Bedana did not accompany with her. After coming to Lanka, she purchased a sari and with that sari, she committed suicide. At the time of committing suicide, I was not present at my residence. My son Sabir was also not present at home. I was in paddy field. Saila Begum saw and raised alarm, and day after public came and also I also came and brought down the dead body and took to hospital.
Yes.
The judgment also find that he, the learned court, my lord. My lord. From para 5 to para 10, my lord. Para 10, my lord, last. Is 59, my lord. Say there nothing as such contradiction emanated out from cast doubt in the investigation. There is also the substratum of prosecution case. Judging, my lord. DW's, my lord.
Mr. Chaudhary, your DW, although we have led defense witness, if we juxtapose the medical evidence with your witnesses, the story defense is trying to make doesn't come out. Basically, two reasons. You'll find that there is a fracture of superior. Here the word is written herring. I think it should have been horn of the thyroid cartilage. This part which is elated here, this is that. It is medically called horn. Herring word, I am not aware of it. So this has there is a fracture here. In an average medical textbook, you'll find variance of sustainable pressure to this cartilage would be around 3 kgs. So supposing I put I strangulate. So till I exert a pressure of not more than 3 kgs, this will sustain, it doesn't get fractured. But I am not a medical expert. Now, you say that in the defense, the evidence is led that the hanging was by way of a sari. The sari was never seized, because even if sari was seized, where is that? Where is that evidence come? 98. But what is the evidence? But what is the evidence linking to it? IOs have not studied about the retrieval of this sari. Have they said, did the IOs, any of the IOs said about retrieval of the sari? Yes, IOs are 8, 9, and 10. But nonetheless, let us assume that the sari was a part of it. Now, here what has happened? The medical evidence said that there are bruising subcutaneous bruising near the thyroid cartilage, bruises of laryngeal swelling and fracture of laryngeal cartilage. And there are other bruises also. So even if we assume that she had committed suicide, there is no cause for such bruises to appear in the neck area unless there is a strangulation.
PW said that she fell on the track when she was.
No one says about the injury on the neck. It says injury on the face,
And no ligature mark.
no ligature mark.
Here, madam, can you see, madam, 30.
No, and no, you see, the other part is when you cross-examine the doctor, that evidence is not brought in about the uh, absence of ligature mark. Now, because if the hanging is by a sari, then the sari is expected to cover a larger area. And possibly you're right, because it says that there's a evidence of fracture of the jaw. Maybe that is there, but you don't introduce that in the cross-examination. Those questions were not put, that which would account to this. Because in the meanwhile, you also reduce evidence to the effect that the body fell down. But even in the body falling down, there is two things which has come out. You are reading the evidence of DWs. See,
At the time, I could not maintain the balance and Hamida fell down.
no, I'll just show it to you. You come to the evidence of DW3. Come to the cross-examination at page 39. Last 4 lines. He says that it is not a fact that while Sabir Ahmed cut the sari and Sahila tried to hold the body, she fell down and sustained injury due to loss of balance. So therefore, this is denied by DW3. No injury. It is not a fact that she fell down and sustained injury. So this, because when you are introducing an evidence and two separate stories or two separate facts which emerge, because PW4 says that at the time body fell down, but then you see the PW10 IO. PW10 says in his evidence that as per the GD entry, she was brought in a dying condition. But GD entry says otherwise. GD entry says, which is Exhibit 8, it says she was brought dead. So that part of the evidence is contradictory to the entry in the GD.
There the basics. First of all, this is the weather model. The 304B line, whether there is. Madam, soon before that, madam, her death, madam, there was harassment of the method upon her. In connection with the demand of dowry. Because 304B, it's not a case of 302, madam. And 304B, validity, madam, 498A also was not there. Not charges were filed. So, madam, here with our limited madam understanding, madam, that prosecution witnesses, madam, your parents-in-law, that two bold statement, madam, not specific when or not, the parents-in-law, and Other than the husband also, nothing, my lord. And father-in-law also in cross says, my lord, that she did not say in what manner. My lord. And 1 lakh into for the first time, my lord. For the first time, 1 lakh. So all this, my lord, that there was no persistent or there was no demand as per our understanding. And there was no harassment or cruelty acted upon the fortunate mother, victim minor. This is in connection with that demand of dowry. The presumption minor, 113B minor. Possible
Well,
that
the-
has to be there.
Because it's the conduct of the DWs. For example, this PW3, DW3. He says that she was being taken in the, she was not dead, she was alive. In the cross-examination, come to page 38, last part. He said, we neither informed the police nor we took her to the police station as the victim was alive at that time. I don't know when the victim breathed her last. He is accompanying this lady. He does not know when she died. Then you see, then he says in the next page, in the middle, although the victim was alive while taking her to hospital but I did not ask her anything about the occurrence. It is quite unnatural. Or rather reminds us of, I hope you have seen that movie. What is it? Charles Chaplin. Yes. Charles Chaplin's Modern Times. You have seen that? No.
Charlie Chaplin's.
Acha, acha.
Yes, see sometimes that exactly what portion of it is referring to.
You see, there he works in a factory and he works mechanically. It's a scene which is always associated with that. So it's a mechanical exercise where you take the dead body, sorry, the dying man, take it to the car, travel to the hospital. You don't ask anything. Too mechanical. No, that is not our tendency. Our tendency would be to ask.
Or she also to say something.
Yes, even before dying, we'll ask her something. You are dying, comfortable. Now go. So that is also a question we may ask.
But it depends upon the facts. Perhaps she was too close to her death and nothing could be.
We don't know. You see, it's a DW introducing that she was dying. She was not dead.
Right.
She was alive.
Those parts are not there.
That means that evidence got missed. You see, cogent evidence, which is about suicidal hanging, got lost.
Out because no ligature mark and thyroid cartilage, the injuries are here. And that shows struggling only, strangulation.
We don't know. We'll continue tomorrow. Yes. The submissions of Mr. H. Chaudhary, Leonard, counsel for the appellant, remains inconclusive. Full stop. Yes. As Jahan Leonard APP is present, next due to positive time, matter has is deferred today, list on tomorrow's date,
March.
20 March.
Usually items are 4 million.
Those will be rolled over. You want any date in that? Yeah, after 2 weeks, item number 4.